welcome to Error 404. I'm here with Leah.
Hi, sorry, I was taking a sip of my Mountain Dew.
And we have our special guest star today, Ricky, aka Douchebag. Say what's up.
Hello, people.
So today we are going to talk to him a little bit. He is one of our friends that we actually met down in New York City, right? I was very drunk that day, so you'll have to fill in.
Yeah,
we were all drunk.
I don't know if we're allowed to say the place on here, but it was somewhere in New York City with a fine Spanish bar across the street.
Yes,
I don't even remember the name of the place, in all honesty.
Yes, me. I have no idea.
Yeah. So we actually were outside. We were going to the Kingdom Hearts Orchestra concert, I guess is how we're going to say that. So Leah and I went down, and then we met these gentlemen, and all of a sudden we're like, we're going to go get beers. They're like, okay. And then we all went and got beers with complete strangers and all became friends. So a little bit of background. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
the greatest love story.
A little bit of background. So give that background. So Ricky, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right, guys. My name is Ricky, or Rick Lay, or whatever you want to call me is fine. My name is ProDuxer. I like to make like lo-fi. Now, dubstep was my main go at first. Trap, anything really except for country. Sorry for all you country fans. I can't do it physically and emotionally.
We get it.
I love skateboarding. I love chilling out, gaming. Kingdom Hearts, Legend of Zelda is my main loves.
Oh, hell yeah.
Anime.
Yeah, no, it hits both of us, so yep.
Yes, it's a love that I'll never give up. Anime is a huge part of me too. Just like the whole scene, you know, just everything about it, just Japanese culture, all that stuff is really cool. And just that's about me right there.
All right. Well, there you go. A little bit introduction on our guest there. So if you guys are okay with it, we should just jump into some questions and get to know our guests a little bit better. Sound good?
Hell yeah.
All right. So we got to tell about yourself. So where did you come up with your music name?
It was like really at the time where dubstep was like getting really popular. Everybody who was like a main artist had an X in their name.
Okay.
And
that's all it took.
So I was like,
that's all it took.
Yeah, seriously. And so I was a producer. So I was like, oh man, I could just toss an X up in there. Yeah, not the greatest story, but that's how it happened.
Are you kidding? That's how every like Organization 13 number has its name. So there you go.
Oh my god, I never thought about I can't even call myself a Kingdom Hearts fan. What is happening right now? I never thought I had the sigil. I never put it to. Oh my god.
I just blew his mind.
Oh, that's great. I know, that was funny. I was like, leave it to the nerd to pick that out.
But there you go. Now your name's even more special.
Well, thank you so much.
So, I'll ask one more question, Leah, and then maybe you can ask one if you want.
That's fine.
So you kind of said it that you said you're a producer, but is that the title you like to go with in your music career, or do you like DJ? Do you like producer? Do you have more? Like, what do you like to be known as when you explain to people what you do?
So when I put out tracks and just like EPs or anything like that, I like to be called a producer. If I'm actually spinning on stage, you know, mixing tracks together, I'd like to be called a DJ. But my main title right now, I've been more focusing on producing than DJing and hitting shows. So I guess you could just say both, like a producer / DJ.
All right. No, that makes perfect sense. Absolutely.
There you go. So it depends on the environment you're in, essentially.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So do we listen to some of your songs, which, by the way, are really awesome.
Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah, I have a favorite one, and I'm going to throw it out there. It's Free Rick. That is definitely my favorite one. Right behind the Halloween one. Yeah, I absolutely love that one. Yep.
I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no problem. So we were wondering, do all your songs have like close meaning to you?
More the lo-fi ones.
Okay.
I actually have a song on there called Hippies. I think it was a long time ago, but I actually made that one because my upstairs neighbors were hippies, and they like posted on Facebook because I was playing music, and they were like, oh, what is it, a rave downstairs and blah blah blah, when they could have just called me. So I kind of vengefully made that song.
So you went petty with your skill. Like, you literally just went hardcore. Like, I'm going to get back at you and make a career off this, essentially. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't like to be petty, but sometimes things just happen, especially when you're drinking.
Yes.
Damn. So would you say
great.
that's like what drives your music is just like what's hitting you at that time?
Honestly, yes and no at the same time. Like like when I'm making lo-fi or I'm making really emotional like stuff, like yes, something that's like it's really hitting me at the time. Like I just feel like I'm in a low or I'm just like in a really happy place, you know, like really emotional. And when I'm making dubstep, it could or trap, it just like I'm just making music, you know.
Right, I get you.
Okay, all right. So we asked you that, which is like a really good, and we know that you're also a DJ. Now, do you prefer being a producer or a DJ?
That's a tough one right there.
Yeah,
like,
hit 'em with it.
Yeah, all right, I got you. I definitely love the producing aspect of actually creating what's in your soul. You know it's hard to describe how that feeling is. Like you wanted to make something and you did it and you spent hours and days and maybe even weeks working on this one thing and nobody even gets to see it yet, but you know you're proud of it, you know? So that's a good one. And DJing is just hella fucking fun. Like it's just so fun when you're just mixing and you're throwing songs you love and with other songs and you feel the crowd's intensity. It's just so fucking cool.
It gives you that kind of like awesome euphoria. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, we can kind of relate to that on like a kind of like editing and like making your own thing level, because I wrote my own book and I can feel like I worked on that for years and I just knew like I can't fucking wait for people to read this. But it was that thing, the anticipation of like it's got to be good. It's got to be good.
Exactly.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
And then with our No Clue Gaming, with our No Clue Gaming videos, like, and how like we're editing it and we're even just recording it. You know, there'll be days where after we record it, we're just like, dude, that sucked. But then when we're on it, and we can't wait to push that shit out. So we kind of get that on like a editing level. But man, I can't even imagine doing that shit live. Like the DJ spinning and hearing the crowd.
Yeah.
That's gotta
be and that really pumps you. So that really, like, you have them there to carry that on for you to, like, kind of get that, you know? You're like, we just have each other, and once in a while we're just like, I'm bored of you, you know? But then, like, you get this crowd that you're making their night, you know? You're touching, like, hundreds of people, you know what I mean? And just with a song, and that's gotta be amazing to feel that. So, you know, that's awesome. And I'm glad you feel that way about it. That speaks to your character a lot. So,
oh, thank you so much. And I can tell from your guys' editing and all that stuff. I checked out your first podcast a little bit, and I got to the part where you started talking about transvestites or something, or transsexual or something like that. And I didn't want to get too far into it because I wanted to bring that up about how I checked it out a little bit. But as soon as I saw your guys' humor and like how the way you tackled that, how it was so professional but yet still fun, I knew this was going to be a good podcast.
Oh man,
thanks, man. That means a lot. That means a lot. We appreciate it.
Especially because I have no fucking filters, so it's good to know that.
That's what I love. When she was like, "Does one owe the other money?" and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like,
oh, that's awesome.
Oh my god, yeah,
man, you should have gotten further. We talk about hiding a taco in the ceiling at GameStop when we worked there. Like it was, yeah.
And sorry, I apologize. One of my 3 dogs is barking at the door for no reason at all, so I apologize.
No, it's
I can't hear a thing, so.
Okay, good. I just feel bad because he's like that big, like, dog, so I just felt bad. So I forgot where I was going because, you know, I got really excited into that. But are you working on any new tracks right now? Do you have anything new coming out? Any gigs that you're doing?
I actually am working on a track right now. It's kind of like a Steven Universe-esque. I just posted a preview of it on my Facebook. It was just like a little short edit video I was working on with it. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. It's a lo-fi Steven Universe.
Dude, when are you going to do like a Kingdom Hearts remix? Like, what's going
on?
Yeah,
I know.
Oh, I have one Kingdom Hearts lo-fi thing, but I really want to do a whole Kingdom Hearts album.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Yeah.
That should be really good.
That would be amazing.
I wanted to like explain from like Kingdom Hearts 1 to now, you know? Like,
that'd be cool.
Right,
have, like, yeah.
So I saw that on Facebook. You consider yourself just dubstep, but when we listen to music, you do have like a lot of lo-fi, R&B. Are you just trying to stick to dubstep, or are you just trying to reach out and try new things and just kind of evaluate?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to breach out and just do other, like, you can't just do one thing anymore nowadays, you know?
You really can't. No. All right. So that's awesome. So like, do you have something in mind that you want to go with next, you know, or are you kind of trying different things to see where you want to go?
I think next I want to try maybe like some EDM stuff. Like I said, I can do, and not everything, but I have a broad range of stuff that I can do. So whatever comes to mind. But this next one, I kind of want to do like a jumpy EDM electronic mix instead of
kind of like a house mix type-ish.
Yeah, just something like you hear on the radio, and it's just like, let's turn this off. Like,
that's a great way to describe your music. Like, you want to turn it off.
I just know the majority of the people are going to be like, what the hell is even that? Like,
but it makes you stand out more, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I love being unique.
Oh, man.
That's good. Yeah, no, that's really awesome. I did have like one question for you that I was wondering. What was or is your biggest challenge getting started and staying in this business?
Oh, that's an easy one. Myself.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. It's basically motivation.
It's the perfectionism. It's what gets me. I hear one little mistake and I'm like, oh my God, they're going to hate it. They're going to hate it. But in reality, I know that's not true. But it's just something about me holding myself back all the time. It's just some days I feel really good. Some days I feel, zero. And that's my problem right there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, okay.
I feel that.
Yep, we both get that.
So
there's days I go over and I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, she comes over and she just throws her keys on the ground and I'm already like recording. I'm like, what's going on, man? She goes, I had a shit day. I don't want to be here.
Yeah, it affects us all. But, I'm really trying to move out of that, perspective. I got a few good friends that always try to motivate me in everything I do. And, I try to keep them and my family and everything in mind. That pushes me.
Do you want to, while we're on here, I don't think Leo cared. Did you want to give them a shout out and just say thank you to them for that? Or
thank you, my family, Kyle, Vince, Joe, all you guys, like everybody in my family that supports me. My dad especially, because he was the music producer and basically like raised me on this. So when I make it big, guys, and you two especially, oh my goodness, I'm so happy I met you guys. Like, yes, thanks for having me on this podcast. It's amazing so far.
No problem. Absolutely. I remember when I hit you up about it. And in all honesty, when we were starting this, and it was just like a discussion we had after recording an episode for No Clue Gaming. I can't remember if we were doing Kingdom Hearts or we were on Final Fantasy yet. But I remember we were talking about it, and I'm like, dude, let's just go back to it. And we were talking about guests. And you're the first guy I mentioned. I was like, dude, we need to have Ricky on. Man, first guest.
She did have to remind me because I was sitting there like, and she goes, Kingdom Hearts. And I was like, oh, the dudes we drank with.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Yeah.
And of course, Vince, I heard you mention Vince as a big shout out. Vince was there as well. And Ariane and Vince have been blowing it up on Facebook with memes lately. Like, I've seen that, yeah. You two have just been bouncing off each other. I see Ariane post something and Vince comments. Vince posts something, Ariane comments. And she didn't even know that he was at the Kingdom Hearts concert. She was like,
nope, no idea.
I was like, this random guy?
Is that the other guy we were drinking with? And she's like, yeah, dude. And I'm like, dude, I drink a lot. Like,
no, they had some slamming drinks there. Oh my Lord.
Like, okay, let's just quickly get off topic, okay? Because I just want to give people more of a background on you and how friggin' awesome you are. And that night was just amazing from what I can remember. So, like, I remember from what I can remember. So, remember we went in and we were kind of weary about each other, you know what I mean? Like, at first it didn't really hop off that much. We were just general chat. And the next thing I said something, and I don't know if it was you or Vince, then all of a sudden I was drinking a lot. And that's all I remember. Like, all of a sudden I had a picture of something in front of my face, and the lady's like, and I go, can I have this? And she's like, yeah. and then there's a pitcher of alcohol in front of my face, and then that's all I remember, really.
Oh my
and,
Lord.
like,
Yeah, you were the one encouraging us to drink.
Yeah.
So
that sounds about right.
Well, I remember me and Ariane drove down to the city, and you and Vince did too, if I remember correctly.
we actually took the Greyhound.
Oh, that's
right.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Terrible. Never do it.
No, they're awful. But I remember, weren't we saying, like, well, where are you guys going? Because I thought, because we wanted to give you a ride home so you didn't have to take the friggin' bus back. So I remember that. And of course, I think you guys were going, like, complete opposite direction of us. And both of us were kind of like, I mean, I can do a road trip, but, like...
we were going to Syracuse.
Oh, okay.
We live in Syracuse.
Yeah. Oh, we were going to swim by Boston, that's why.
And
then
right.
we went halfway there and we turned around.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
remember
happens when I drink.
us driving down, and then of course the moment we pull in the city, Don't Think Twice starts playing, and I'm like, "Yo, what?"
Wow.
And then we get to the theater and everything, and of course, like, we can't find the fucking entrance.
Exactly. That was so confusing because it went all the way around the building, and you're just
Isn't
like, "What
that
the
where
hell?"
we met you guys? Like,
yeah, because we were
like,
both looking for the entrance.
Yes, and we were like, "How the hell do we get in here?" And then we're just like,
and we said, "Fuck it, let's just go get something to drink."
Yeah, because I remember seeing the janitor guy or whatever, and I was like, "Hey, do you know how to get in here?" And he's like, he just gave me this dirty look, and I was like, "All right, bro,
I'm the janitor. Come on."
Yeah. So we walked away, and then me and her are chit chatting, like, "What do you want to do?" And then I look over and I see you and Vince asking the guy the same thing. So I'm like, "Yo, let me walk up to these guys." So then I walk up to you guys. I'm like, "Yo, you guys going to the Kingdom Hearts concert?" And immediately you were like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yes, the fuck he is.
And then I was like, "Dude, where's the entrance?" You're like, "I have no clue. This guy doesn't know." And then we were like, "Okay, well, you guys want to go get a beer at least, so that way we can do this together?" Since we were all four of us were kind of new to this whole showing up, going to this place. We didn't know what we were doing. And then I remember we were walking towards the street, and we were like, "Where should we go?" And I looked straight ahead, and I was like, "Oh, hey, there's a bar." And it was like a Mexican bar, and we didn't care. We sat at like the counter that had exactly 4 seats, which was weird.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect. Right? I remember we were getting like dirty looks from people, and I was like, "I don't know."
It was a little weird. It was a little weird because like nobody was eating in the restaurant really, and we were just like being wicked loud, like, "Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts, fuck yeah!" Like,
and I remember she was like, "Are you guys going to a concert?" We're like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Ooh, who's playing?" And we're like, "Oh, it's an orchestra concert." And she just kind of gave us this look, like, "I'm sorry, fucking what?"
Like, when I told my parents,
the 4 of us,
when I told my parents I was going to see an orchestra, they were like, "What the fuck?" And my brother's like, "Only serial killers listen to that shit."
Yeah, I told, because my mom, I tell her everything. Like, you could ask Leah. Right before I recorded, she called me and trapped me into something. But like, so I talk to her all the time, and she was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I was like, Leah invited me to go see this video game orchestra, and she goes, "What the fuck are you really doing?" And I'm like, "I swear to God, Mom, I'm going to see an orchestra." And she's like, "If you end up in jail." I was like, "Mom, I'm going to see an orchestra."
Like that's the ultimate scapegoat. Like, I'm gonna go see an orchestra. Like, no.
I just feel like she never thought those words would come out of my mouth, so it's pretty funny. And I'm like, "Do you want to talk to Leah? Like, I'm driving her down there, I promise." And like, it was just so funny to try to like explain that. And I'm like, "I understand those words would never come out of my mouth, but it's a video game, Mom." And then she's like, "Okay."
In New York City?
Yeah.
You're going to see an orchestra in New York City?
I guess the last time I was down in New York City, like, I got kicked out of 3 different dive bars, and each time I called my mom and I was like, "I got kicked out of the bar," and she just started laughing, and she's like, "Are you arrested?" And I was like, "Not yet." She goes, "Okay, honey, have fun, be safe." So like, she just assumed I was gonna get into shit while I was down there. So
Jesus.
Well, you didn't. It was a great night.
That was a good night.
It was so perfect. Like, and especially at the end when they played I can't remember what the orchestral version of what they played.
I think it wasn't Face Your Fears.
Yes, it was Face Your Fears, and I couldn't help because you know how like they don't like people clapping in between songs, but I could not help myself but clap, and it just spread like a virus. Yeah, and it was so magical. It was so beautiful.
I think it was so cool seeing Yoko actually play the piano in front of all of us. I thought that was really cool.
Yes. That was great. Oh my god! And so what about Kingdom of Hearts?
Oh my god!
Oh my my god!
Do you remember? I remember he said it first, and everyone just went like a collected sigh. And then I remember about like the 6th or 7th time, every time we went Kingdom of Hearts, everyone in the audience went, "Oh!"
There was a lot of laughter in the back because you guys had better seats than I did. Like you were way in the front.
Yeah, we were about like halfway up there.
Yep.
Yeah, I was in the nosebleeds.
It was so funny. Like, it was just, the more he said it, the more agitated the crowd got.
I felt like, in a way, he was probably, like, after he fucked up, it was, I can't go back. I can't go back now. I have to keep saying it. Because they'll know that I fucked up and I'm not, like, intentionally trying to get myself back.
Like that, or he really just didn't want to be there, so he was just like, fuck you guys,
How could you not want to be there?
Why did they sign me up for a video game concert?
That's what I'm saying, so he's just fuck you guys. Like, here you go.
Fucking nerds.
I remember when they would play games, and you could tell which games collectively we did not like. Like, the music for Coded played, and everyone was just sort of like, huh.
Yeah.
all Minecraft characters are like, huh. Yeah. And then I remember when the mobile game came up, and everyone was like, oh.
See, alright, I like the mobile game, though. That's the fucked up thing. I never thought I would. I never, ever thought I would.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
The lore that it gives you, like, the lore is so good.
The lore is fantastic, especially with, like, Ventus and Marluxia and everything. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh my god, and Starletzia and all that stuff.
Oh my god.
And just like everybody, and then like how it made kind of like an appearance in 3 with all that bullshit, that's how they got people to play the game.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, when they show like when all the Keyblade, the Union Keyblades come around, and then they show everybody's name. Like that's how they got people to play that game.
That was so dope.
That's how they got people to buy that game, because there was no other way people were going to play it. There's no Kingdom Hearts 3 recognition from it.
Yeah, I remember when because Ariane sat through Kingdom Hearts 3 with me, and that's why she went through the orchestra concert with me. And of course, No Cool Gaming, you see her like initial reactions to the first one. And of course, we got smashed during the first one.
Oh God.
Yeah, I puked. It was really bad. All you hear is me talking in the.
Oh really? Wait,
yeah, on recording. It was bad.
You gotta send me that later.
I definitely
when we're done
will.
With this.
And then you can hear us just get more incoherent as we go on. But anyway, so I remember when that came up, and then Ephemer, showed up, and then he turned around and goes, need some help? I was like, get the fuck out of here!
Yes,
oh my god!
So fucking lit!
And then all like the names popped up, and I was like, there I am!
No,
like,
you were on there?
I was on there because I did the challenge! But I didn't know that's what it was for! Like, I saw Song Slayer 64 pop up, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here!
You lucky son of a bitch! I played the game too late. And I just couldn't, like, at first I didn't want to get into it, and then they were like, oh yeah, you can get into Kingdom Hearts 3, and I was like, bet, I'll try, and, no.
But I remember even Ariane was like, that's so cool that they put everyone's name in it from the mobile game that did the challenge, and, like, all of our Keyblades that are just, like, going at helping Sora. I was like, this is so dope.
Official, Keyblade wielder now, like, just... world knows who you is. Like,
sorry, I was silent for a little bit of that. I just let you guys nerd out because I had no idea what the hell you were talking about for the most part, because Leah got me into this and made me watch all the games, and so I know some of what you were talking about. So
do is still fun though.
Yeah, so it's still interesting though. So
all right, real quick, guys, we're just gonna take a real quick break to get our sponsors in here, and then we'll just be right back. You also skateboard. How's skateboarding going during the pandemic right now? Like, are parks open for skateboarding? Like, have you been going outside? Like, how's that been affecting you?
Not really. It just affected me much. It's just nice to not have a lot of people in your way. So
So it's a positive.
Yeah. It's positive.
There are skate parks that are closed and stuff, but I'm more of a street skater. So like if I see a stair set while I'm walking out or something, a gap, I'll just hit it, like, more in the environment.
Yeah, all right.
How long have you been
actually
skateboarding?
more positive.
Actually, I've been 16. It'll be 10 years in fucking a couple of weeks now. Yeah.
Holy shit, dude! What is your opinion on the Oh my god, what is it? Tony Hawk Pro Skater remake coming out.
I'm gonna tell you, I was never really a huge fan on the Pro Skaters.
Okay.
I loved Underground. The fact that you could get off your board was amazing.
Because that was the best one. That's why.
Yeah, Underground was the best. They need to remake that.
Yeah, it's what they should do, but no.
I like how in Underground you could like just be skating at like 20 miles per hour, and then all of a sudden just hop off your board. It's in your hands. Just start smacking shit with it.
So legit. Like one of the first missions when you're like trying to leave from Jersey and you have to hop on that car and then jump a fucking bridge. Like you jump an entire bridge. Like what the fuck?
It was outrageous.
That's plausible.
Skater, Tony Hawk labeled a rebel forever.
Jesus Christ! But do you have like a favorite skateboarder, or like at least when you were younger, did you have someone to look up to?
All right, so when I first started skating, everybody when they first started skating loves Rodney Mullen because he was the god.
Yep.
And he was the god, and then everybody loved Nyjah because he was this kid. But right now, I gotta give a shout out to Shane O'Neill. He is so underrated, but that dude is probably the best skater on the planet right now. Like doing shit that not a lot of other people can do. And Aaron Jaws too. That man, if you ever look up his jumps, he does the biggest jumps. So I got to give it a shout out to those two. They're probably like the most gnarliest skaters right now.
I remember there was this one skater. I can't remember his name. I saw him like 2 years ago, but he was doing parkour while skateboarding, and I thought that was dope.
What, like doing front flips on his board and shit?
Yeah, or like he would go off like when you would vault over like a ramp or something for parkour and like do a few flips, he would just kick the skateboard out from underneath him and make it go further. And then he would just do like a somersault and just land on it. And I was like, bro, what?
Yeah, that sounds fucking legit. Put that in a movie, but they won't.
Yeah. No, they would put it in a movie and people would be like, this is unrealistic.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's exactly you're right.
You can't parkour and skateboard at the same time. But here's how I found him. He was the stunt double for Andrew Garfield in The Amazing Spider-Man. Because he was the one doing all the skateboard tricks.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I looked him up and he was doing parkour on skateboard and I was like, what the fuck?
Now hear me out. Like hear me out. Ready? Bruce Willis is a cop, and he has to chase down this guy that stole something from him, and it turns out to be a parkour skateboarder. How will he react? All right,
Sold.
I would watch that. I'd watch it.
I'd go bankrupt. But wait,
we have to get involved. His wife and daughter got kidnapped or being held hostage by the skateboarder parkour person and his gang. You know,
his wife
and then
it turns out, Bruce Willis movie without it. I mean, honestly.
And he's either got to be a cop or a retired cop. But here's the thing. Plot twist. It's his son the whole time. Boom.
Oh,
that's dope.
You need to get on that now. You need to patent that idea.
It too. That's the worst thing about it. I love it. But I'd probably do it. Just be like,
his actual
I gotta
son.
say, man, you're a retired cop. Your wife and daughter are held hostage. Sold. Just write the script. I'd be like, okay.
Are you sure you don't want to hear the rest of it? Just write it. He gets in the writer's room, reads about the parkour skateboarder, and he's like, I'm good. I'm sold.
He wouldn't care. At this point, if he's seen the movies he's been putting out lately, he wouldn't give a shit.
You know he's going to have a partner, and it's got to be Mark Wahlberg, right?
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
We're going to throw cops in there. I mean, come on.
And Mark's there with, like, his British accent, just like...
turns in, you have to have,
he's just
like,
there,
some kind of
with
accent.
his British accent, like, I don't know, man. Your car just got wrecked by this skateboarder.
But Mark has to be from Boston, right? And then at one part, in order to get information, he has to, like, the guy's like, oh, I'll challenge you to skate off. And Mark's like, man, I don't do that shit. but how about a dance-off? And then Donnie Wahlberg out of nowhere is his partner, and they just go at it.
I am so sold on this idea.
You know what? I would watch this fucking movie. That's the worst part about it. Like,
really, what? Like, you would have, it's a cult classic right there. Like,
oh, yeah. That'd be like a good movie right there. People would walk out there like 50-50, like, what the fuck was that? And others be like, that was the most amazing fucking movie I've ever seen.
You know, people would only go and see it because Bruce Willis, come on.
Oh, yeah.
But, me, that's the problem. I'm the people that would do that. but instead, maybe this is what should happen. Of course, it's a Willis movie. It has to be a bank robbery. So the parkour skateboarders are robbing a bank. It goes wrong because they have a newbie with them and he fucks up. So his wife and daughter are there trying to do something. Tom Holland, yes. And his wife and daughter are there. So they take them just as hostages randomly, not knowing that it's Bruce Willis's family. They are fucked.
Jenna Coleman's the daughter.
I love how we all tried to click in at the same time. That was legit. I really love that idea on that movie, man. I would watch that shit like every other day.
We could just produce it, but we'll put the face masks on the people, like cardboard cutouts, and they'll pretend to be that person as they're playing these roles. So we don't have to pay money. That's what I'm saying. And then we'll just do it that way. So I really don't see a downside to this at all.
A nice project. So any other questions you guys want to toss my way?
Yeah. Leah, do you want to do the final question? I got so involved in the Bruce Willis movie. I literally stopped. I forgot what we were doing for a second.
Oh, seriously, me too.
No, okay.
Down at my listen, I was like, wait a minute, I haven't even gotten anywhere here. All right.
I do have another question before the final question, Arian. Okay. So when we listen to music, you do have some people kind of singing to your music or doing a rap. Have you ever thought of collaborating with rappers on SoundCloud or rappers that and just making a song together that's mostly a rap R&B type thing?
I haven't had anybody rap on a track, but I do have 2 songs with somebody singing on my
okay, yeah. My bad.
Yeah, I've always thought about doing that aspect. I've always wanted to rap on my own music, but my voice is just not rapper worthy. It just sounds terrible. So I usually, I prefer singing. Auto-tune is a blessing. So yeah.
That's how everyone else does it.
Yeah, definitely. That's how it gets to the point where singing on the radio, I can't tell who's who anymore because of the auto-tune. So if that's the way you gotta go, man.
That's where you gotta go. That's how you do it. Now, is there anyone that you would if you could pick 1 or 2 people to do something with? Do you have that already? Do you know who you would pick to do something with?
If I could ever have anybody singing or rapping on my songs, it would be this rapper Swerzy. He's my favorite rapper right now. Oh my god, he's so underground and his bars are so rapid fire. He has a unique voice and it's just he talks about gangs and killing and gang and all that stuff, and I love that. Yeah. I'm not into it, but I love the lyrics.
But you have heard about it in the lyrics, yeah.
Jeez. So, dude, since you're a big nerd like us, what kind of games are you looking forward to right now? I know there's not a lot coming out right now because everything got pushed back, but what are you really waiting for?
I have 3 games in mind. First of all, that's coming out soon. The Last of Us 2.
Duh.
Yes.
That's a huge one. Ghost of Tsushima. I can't say that right.
That one looks so good. Yes, I'm excited for that one too.
And my favorite, that's probably going to disappoint me though, is Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That might be a 50-50 game because Witcher 3 was so fucking good that I feel if it doesn't... You haven't played it?
No. I heard they were amazing open world games, right?
Yeah.
And I just didn't play. I'll try to get into it eventually, but just other things I'm playing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, it looks really good, and from gameplay that we've seen, it looks really good, but We've been let down before in the past by some game companies.
Oh, for sure. Especially like to the aspect of they promise that it's going to be like this most immersive open world game, and then you're limited to like everything you actually wanted to do.
Like No Man's Sky. I was so
I tried playing that game again after like a year, and it was still crap. I'm sorry, but it was.
I mean, unless you're playing with someone, but if you're playing by yourself, it's just still like, I'm bored.
Do they have split screen?
No, they only have online right now.
Well, yeah, I hate online games. I'm sorry. It takes the fun out of the game. Like certain online games are cool, like if you're doing like a fighting game or some shit like that. But it just takes like, imagine having to play Mario Party online. Like how lame that would be. Because you can't get the reaction like your friend just got screwed over and you're like, ha ha ha. But, you know.
Yeah, you don't hear the other person like being sad and depressed in their life-ending situation.
Right, it defeats the purpose.
Yeah. I get it.
I play to depress people, damn it.
That's why I play my friends miserable.
That's why I play Smash Bros. And Mario Kart and Mario Party. Those are the friendship ruiners.
They really are.
So, dude, is there anything that you want to bring up or you want to talk about?
Oh, yes. Definitely. Well, any games you guys are looking forward to? Like, I would like to hear that.
This Secret Kingdom Hearts project. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, we'll come up to that. Like, you guys play Breath of the Wild at all?
No, I don't.
I've played a bit of it, but I don't own like a Switch, and that's my problem right now.
Oh no!
Yeah,
it came out on Wii U, surprisingly, but you should definitely get on that because it's you play Skyrim at all?
Yes.
All right, it's definitely Skyrim-esque because just the environment. They have some aspects that Skyrim should have actually had, which is
really all right. Well, that right there sold me alone. So maybe I do have it. So maybe I'll have to give that a try then because that's interesting. So
just like the weather and just like gear and stuff like that, it just makes you think a little bit more. But once you get like further in the game, it just becomes irrelevant. But it's just like when you're first playing it, it's just like, oh my god, like. Where was this in Skyrim? Right.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll definitely try it now. I mean, I know kind of a lot of the games you said actually is what I'm actually looking forward to. Definitely Last of Us 2. Leah will let you know that because that's nothing I've shut up about. Like every time we record, I always bring it up and I'm like, hey, have you seen the news? Like,
I'm not going to lie. When I played the first one, I had to play on the easiest setting. Because those damn fucking clickers kept killing me, and I just couldn't stand them.
No, I couldn't stand those. They always gave me such an issue. And hold on, my cat has decided to join our podcast. So like they always gave me an issue. So I did start out easy, right? And then I was just like, I'm gonna turn it up. Like once I got the feel for it, I turned it up, and like I was like, why did I do this to myself? Why do I hate myself so much? Because like once I started trying to play a normal, I was like, fuck this game.
No, even on the easiest level, I was still like, fuck.
Yeah.
I remember I was trying to play on like the hardest difficulty, and it was the first time you meet the clickers, and like Joel's by himself. He jumps down from the hole in the building that's destroyed, and you have to like sneak past him, and you have to kill them all to unlock the door. Yeah, fuck that. I was so pissed.
That's where I got it. That's where I put the easy. No, actually, no. Where I is when you're hanging upside down.
Oh,
and you have to shoot off.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I was like, you know what? Fuck this game. Like, you're going on easy. And I still had trouble. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, fuck that.
Now, like, when Last of Us 2 comes out, I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, I'm already, like, easiest level starting off. Like, fuck it. I will do another run.
Can you imagine if they, like, bring them back as, like, the clickers, if they're still there, but they're, like, amped up now? You know what I mean? Kind of like what Walking Dead did with their zombies. Like, they change them or something, and now they have, like, new friggin' abilities. I'd just be like, I
forgot it's The Walking Dead, but I did play, what is it? Left 4 Dead.
Yeah,
if they would do like that, like witches and just other stuff, that would be legit.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
Fuck it, just like Left 4 Dead and Last of Us 2, trying to bring some of the characters onto there. You meet that? That'd be kind of cool.
There you go.
Coach,
cool,
like, Coach, what the fuck? Like,
God damn. Yeah, just like collab everything together.
Because I was so mad they never fucking went. That was a really good zombie game, and they just never continued.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
It was fun to play like with multiple people. That's why. When you have to, when you're at the concert and you have to like set off the the fireworks and all that shit, and there's like 700 goddamn infected coming. One buddy uses the fucking sniper rifle. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm over here, I got a jockey on my head running around. This dude's like, I can't find you. I'm like, 'cause you're using a scope, you asshole. Like, terrible.
Oh my god. So, dude,
I love you.
Final question, all right? What advice would you give to aspiring musicians listening to this podcast?
Never give up. Always keep your dreams like in your face. Never get discouraged. Like, you're gonna get discouraged, but don't let that keep you down. And just try to have as much fun, because once you lose that drive for fun, it just becomes a job, and nobody likes working. So
fucking hate working.
Oh, that's amazing advice. Like that right there, honestly, like, I already said it, but once again, that really speaks to your character to give that kind of advice and to, show people that, you have trouble with it, but you're still, there's days that you have the trouble or whatever, but you're still just like, man, I love what I'm doing. I'm going to focus up. So that says a lot about you. Your music says a lot about you, and I can't thank you enough for being on our podcast, because I actually really enjoyed today. I enjoyed talking to you again and learning more about you.
Thank you guys for having me. It's been like so much fun. Like, I knew this was going to be fun, but this is like on 11 like right now. So thank you.
Is that out of 20 or out of 10?
It's out of 5.
It's out of 10.
No, it's out of 5.
Damn. All right, man. Well, yeah, like I said, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. I'm really glad we got to talk to you. And, I know we're all friends, but good luck with your music. And I can't stress enough how much I mean that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I got a few more things I want to say. Just like I said, you guys are going to be so great at this, and just keep doing what you're doing and have fun with it, guys.
Oh, fuck. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
That means a lot.
See you guys.
No problem. See you, man. All right, guys. We will see you next Thursday. Don't forget, we update every Thursday, and we are on SoundCloud, Spotify, basically anywhere you can find us. Make sure you hit that follow button, and we will see you guys next Thursday. Peace out.
Bye.